Well, the year is finally kicking off with the first major event. It's one that I look forward to every year. The Xbox Developer Direct is today, January the 23rd. Now, if you're watching this later, this is a waiting room stream where we're going to do our own predictions, our own anticipations, thoughts about everything that's going to be happening. Last year, we didn't get release dates. Are we going to get release dates this year? We're hearing rumors about a Doom release date, about a South of Midnight release date. I have said if they give us release dates this year, it does mark a continued shift in change of strategy from Xbox. Last year, seemingly they didn't give us release dates because they either weren't ready. I think they were. I think they like to leave that mystery because it keeps people on Game Pass. And if we get release dates this year, maybe that's another shift into them thinking more like a publisher. Like if you want people looking forward to Doom and pre-ordering, they need that release date. So we'll be watching that. That'll be a separate broadcast. So if you want to see my live reaction to the Xbox Developer Direct, you'll have to look for that. If you're watching this later, maybe I've already reacted to it. You can obviously listen to this and watch this. It'll be a lively discussion, I'm sure. The NPD results came out for December, and unsurprising, another false narrative has died. Astrobot killed it for the year. It's up there with some of the biggest titles from last year out of all games sold, and it was in like the top 10 for December of all games, not just PlayStation. It absolutely crushed it. So another false narrative just dies a slow and miserable death last year, as so many people tried to claim that game flopped, failed, or wasn't impressive, or didn't deserve Game of the Year. I also was really impressed with how the Game of the Year award seemingly bumped it from 13th to 8th. So those NPD results are in. We're also hearing that these release dates for these Xbox games, they've kind of leaked. Those things, I wonder if that's going to put pressure on the event or Xbox to either confirm or actually put out release dates. Like, if they're actually going to say, hey, South of Midnight is coming in March and Doom is coming in May. I have said, even though I'm not interested in Avowed because of the frame rate issue and the combat just doesn't look like I would enjoy it, I would have tried it if it was 60 on Xbox, but it's not. Unless that's changed. If that's changed, obviously I'll dive in and check it out day one. But I've been saying Xbox is probably set to have their best year with respect to cadence of games, because the Developer Direct is now. February's Avowed. If March is when South of Midnight comes out, that's great. Then they'll take a break in April, or maybe something smaller in April. And then May is Doing the Dark Ages. Again, this is all according to leaks and to rumors. But if those things are true, that's a great start to the year. And then we know that Outer Worlds 2 and Fable are slated for this year as well. I've continued to say that I think Fable slipped. I think that was the game that slipped. We heard that there was a game that slipped out of 2025, and Outer Worlds 2 was kind of brought in earlier to take its place, and I think that game was Fable. So no real news to go over, no opening show monologue. Let's just get into it, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Oh, yeah, and don't forget about the Oblivion remake. That could land in the summer as well. So really, really strong start to the year for Xbox. Obviously, we want these games to land and to do well and to be received well, because we don't need any more of what happened the last couple of years with games like, Redfall and others. But I want South of Midnight. That's one of the games I'm looking forward to this year. I want that one to be good. It looks like a more mature Kena Bridge of Spirits. I love the combat. I love the art style. That fight that she has with the alligator looks just freaking dope. And then, obviously, I want to play Doom. That one looks good. I hope we get some good gameplay today. And Joker Quinn, Han shot first, and so did you, man. The first gifted member of the day. We're a little behind on the member goal. When we hit the goal, we do a Friday night stream, and Madam will continue her journey in Kingdom Come Deliverance. We've gotten more and more viewership on that as time has gone on. You guys seem to be really enjoying that. It is hysterical watching her play that first game. So thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of that. And also, to all of the people on a gifted member, or if you're currently paying for the $5 membership, we're trying to get as many people as we can at the $6 member plus. So consider upgrading, get out of the gifted pool, or just upgrade your existing membership that you're paying for. We're trying to hit that big milestone, and you can help us do that today if you'd like, and that counts toward the member goal. I actually count all upgrades as a double. I give you a nice multiplier on it because we really, really value those upgrades. And Craig Smith, with the first super chat of the day, says, Halo will be coming to the PS5, so I'm hoping Helldivers 2 will be coming to the Xbox Series X and S. I continue to think that the developers have expressed that they're totally fine with that happening. I have said since the beginning that I have no problem with Helldivers going to Xbox because I believe live service games are different, and the more people that you get in the funnel, the better. My biggest concern would be it would spread the bandwidth of a studio that is not large. They have admitted that they didn't want to like mushroom up and overhire when the game had its explosive launch, so they're not very large. And when you split that bandwidth, you now have multiple versions of the game that need to be debugged and patched and updated at different levels of cadence because of the certification process on Xbox. They'd also have to build the game for 2 systems, the Series S and the X. They'd have to basically optimize it down to run on the S, which we know the S is sort of notorious now for having issues and taking more time. If they're trying to expand the player base and they were worried about maximizing the player base, I feel like they would have made a PS4 version of the game, because there's like way more people on the PS4 right now than are even on the Xbox Series console. There's like 60 million people that are still turning on their PlayStation 4s and playing. Then there's 30 million Xbox Series X's and S's in circulation. There's double the amount of potential consumers and players on the PlayStation 4. So I really don't see the Helldivers developers or PlayStation saying, "Oh no, yeah, let's take our game to a smaller platform that we formerly were competing with, and then let's optimize it down for a weaker system." Like, if they were willing to optimize it down for a weaker system, they would have gone where there are more players. The PlayStation 4, according to MAU reports, has double the player base of the amount of consoles that Xbox has sold this gen. So, if Xbox is dying, then go Xbox. Oh, if Helldivers is dying. Helldivers isn't dying. They had a huge resurgence in the player base after their latest efforts with content. They're very healthy. It's a very healthy live service game. So, don't see that happening. I really just don't. I don't see the business angle. I really don't. The business angle of bringing a game like that to Xbox would only be if you were trying to maximize your player base. And if you're trying to maximize your player base, you'd go to the PS4 because there's more people there. The only good thing about devs making games for one console versus 3 or 2 is what you just said. You get a better quality game. For sure. And listen, for the sake of optimization, you would have to consider that being a part of Helldivers. There's a lot going on. There's explosions. There's lighting effects that they use. It's a very optimizable engine. I think they could get it to run on the S. It would take extra work. But if you're going to go to the great lengths to do that, you're going to lower the quality of the game. You're going to have to optimize for a weaker system. It would just make more sense to do it for your own dadgum platform. Like, you would just do it for the PS4. You know what I'm saying? There's that just stands to business reason. If you're saying PlayStation wants more players for Helldivers, and I didn't bring this up, somebody in chat asked me about it. You know, if you're trying to get more players in a game like Helldivers, you wouldn't go to a smaller platform that is basically viewed as the competitor by your own player base. You'd go to your own platform. You'd go to the PS4. You know what I mean? I feel like you would go to where you have more potential players diving in. And the reason they don't want to do that is because PlayStation doesn't want their first-party studios making games for PS4 anymore. They've moved on. Spider-Man 2 was the beginning of that change. Right, Brett Williams, I think you'd have to dramatically change aspects of the game to get the game to run on the PS4. That's why it's not on the PS4. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were trying to maximize Helldivers' player funnel, they likely considered PS4 as a potential launch. They probably did. There's so many people there. And a ton of them would have played because a ton of them play Call of Duty, and that's not that adjacent. It's not that, oh, well, I don't want to play Helldivers. People that play COD every day would have been like, oh, that Helldivers sounds pretty fun. I think they would have had to dramatically change the game to get it to run on the PS4, and that's why they probably opted to not do it. There's just too much going on. There's a lot of lighting and fog and explosion effects happening all at once, in addition to all of the enemies. You have to have all those enemies like popping out of the ground and functioning as an AI in the game. So I'm not opposed to it. It doesn't bother me at all when live service games go everywhere. That doesn't affect my opinion of a game. I've always said I don't care if games go to other platforms. I just prefer games to be made for one platform first because you get better quality. You just do. I think you get better quality games. Like, if going forward, Xbox keeps doing what they did with Indiana Jones, I'd be totally fine with that. That's been driving me crazy. I think I have something blocked. There. That's how the light's supposed to look. There was like a whole bar section of darkness back there. I was like, what is going on? Bethesda is closing Euro Studios per Tom Warren. What? What's that? What division is that? What have they made? Where did you see this? I don't see it in my feeds just yet. You're saying Tom Warren is reporting that Bethesda's closing their Euro Studios? Where? I've not seen him report that yet. Did he report it on Blue Sky first or something? I don't see it on Twitter. It's a rumor on Twitter. Sorry, not Tom Warren. Oh, it's a rumor. Oh, okay. Well, then we'll have to wait for confirmation. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in my feeds about it. That could be a fake. That could be somebody just running with, rumor mill made up stuff. You saw something about that, FCat? Excuse me. Xbox is a great console. Adults on here acting like children. Huh? Both consoles are great. If Xbox is dead, then what does that make PlayStation with 10 canceled games in 18 months? Yeah, I mean, you're not stating anything that's factually accurate. They haven't canceled 10 games in 18 months. They've canceled a handful of live service games, which that's only half of their efforts. If you go look at their actual projection for investment, there was going to be the greatest amount of money invested in their big single-player games, and then there was going to be an equal amount of money invested in live service. Live service games getting canceled is not a sign of any problem or trouble. It means they're doing internal assessments that need to happen after Concord. Concord was a disaster, and I think Concord made them pump the brakes. I think Herman Holst needed to be humbled. I think he had really, really bad ideas about like what could be successful in a live service environment, and I think he needs to be surrounded by or relying upon people that know better than him, because I don't think he knows anything about live service games because he thought Concord was going to be great. So he needs to be better informed. And if they're canceling games because of that system, I think that that's good. Now, if people are saying Xbox is dead, you have to ask them what they mean. There are long-standing Xbox fans that are saying that. They feel that Xbox is dead. They feel that the idea of the Xbox is dead. It's hard not to see why they're upset, because you have Satya Nadella saying that we're redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan. I saw a lot of long-standing Xbox loyalists that did not like that he said that. Right? I saw a lot of people that did not like the everything is an Xbox marketing. There are big-time Xbox fans that feel like the idea of the Xbox is dead. You're not always just dealing with some hater pony that's saying that. Now, you might be. The ponies have been loving the devolution of Xbox. They love it because they said that it was going to happen, and, people enjoy being right. Yoshi said that not Yoshi P. You're thinking of a different person, Brooklyn. You're thinking of Yoshida. Yoshi P is the Final Fantasy guy. Yoshida said they cancel games all the time. Yeah. I mean, Yoshida back in 2023 said that we cancel games all the time. We cancel so many games. It's par for the course. I think the danger is when you tell everybody what you're going to do, and then everybody sees how much gets canceled. Everyone's like, yo, what the heck is going on? It's like, this is pretty much business as usual. Both companies do it. It's not like oh no, what are we going to do? It's like, oh no, we do this all the time. We scope out an idea, 1 or 2 years in, we're like, no, that's not going to work. Cancel it. I think the biggest mismanagement of it is that you shouldn't have studios like Bend making live service games. You want your single player studios making single player games. I think they should be partnering with companies like Arrowhead, because PlayStation clearly doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to live service. Naughty Dog learned that. Ben just learned that. Blue Point just learned that. I mean, there's a pattern. You should be looking for partnerships like Arrowhead. That's the truth. This is typically what happens in these discussions, right? it's an Xbox day, and the Xbox guys come in and they have to talk bad about PlayStation. And then when I push back on false narratives, you'll clip me and say, even this pony, can't help but defend PlayStation on an Xbox day. Well, it's a predetermined script from people who always say the same things. If you say something false and I give it a more nuanced pushback, that's not me defending PlayStation. I've been saying all week long that Herman Hulst doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to live service. He needs better people. He needed to be humbled, right? He needed to be humbled. He thought that Concord was going to be amazing. That's me being critical. Now, I'm not going doom and gloom, though. I'm not going oh, it's over, everything's over. I've never even done that with Xbox. When people are like, oh, Xbox is going to go away and leave the industry, I'm like, I don't think so. I think they're just completely changing their strategy. I've never bought into the doom and gloom with Xbox. I understand why even long-standing Xbox fans are like, Xbox is dead, because the very idea of what an Xbox can be, changed in the last 13 months dramatically. I get why people say it. I've never said Xbox is dead. I'm like, this is over. I said that Microsoft killed Xbox because they did. They killed the very idea of Xbox. They killed the entire brand identity. But that doesn't mean Xbox is dead and leaving the industry. It's not doom and gloom to say Microsoft stepped into the room and completely eroded the idea of what an Xbox is. They did. How can you not admit that? Are you excited for Ninja Gaiden? Maybe. I need to see gameplay, how it feels, but yeah. I like games like that. I'm just saying that the statement Xbox is dead is a stupid statement. It goes alongside with Xbox has no games. Well, when someone says Xbox has no games, they might be speaking to the fact that the first-party presence was really lacking for a long time. They admitted this. Phil Spencer admitted it in an email. He admitted it on a podcast. You can't have the CEO of the company saying in emails and on a podcast that their cadence of games was poor or bad or non-existent and then act like that statement's not accurate. It depends on when the statement was made. I mean, this is going to be the best cadence of Xbox-owned games, Xbox-published games, since the gen started. This year will be their best year. And two of the bigger games are going to PlayStation. Outer Worlds 2 and Doom are going to PlayStation. I think that Xbox fans have a right to feel some sting from that, brother. There could be at least 2 surprise announcements during the Xbox Developer Direct on top of the mystery 4th game, according to Mike Straw at Insider Gaming. I wonder what they got. I'm excited about Expedition 33 being there, and I'm excited about this surprise game. But I'm legitimizing Xbox fans being frustrated. I'm not legitimizing ponies prancing around on Twitter and celebrating all this. But I'm legitimizing, I think it's totally fine for Xbox fans to feel frustrated. After 4 years of very inconsistent deliverables, they're going to have their best year. And 2 of the biggest titles this year coming from Xbox are going to PlayStation. Doom the Dark Ages and The Outer Worlds 2. I don't care, no sting. Right, if you don't care, I'm not talking about you. I'm simply trying to make space and say, listen, if you're an Xbox fan and you're angry, disappointed, upset, if you want to say things like, man, Xbox is dead or Xbox is dead to me, I think they're allowed to say that. I do. I think they're allowed to express that frustration. It's like, come on, man. They waited and waited and waited, and when they finally start to hit this cadence and the big games are coming, well, now they're multiplats. One of your biggest games last year that I guess you could try to celebrate was Black Ops 6. That's a multiplat. Indiana Jones, yeah, awesome, great quality, great scores. It might win some game awards this year. Games that land in December, it's unfortunate. Hopefully it's not forgotten, because I think it deserves some nominations for art direction and performances. 100% deserves some nominations there, but that's going to PlayStation. Do you understand? I'm simply trying to say there is an acceptable amount of frustration and complaint that people can utter about Xbox this gen, for sure. Why has this dude got Jimmy Neutron hair? Because your mom told me she likes it styled this way. I'll be honest, I own an Xbox Series X, and I would want to play Doom on the Pro. I mean, that's where I want to play it. It wouldn't surprise me at all. id Software, I don't think id Software is going to sit idly by and not harness the power of the Pro. You know? There are id Software is known, man. They're gonna push it. They're gonna push the envelope. They're gonna push those pro enhancements. I bet you they are. You know, guys, if you've enjoyed. I'm sorry. I tried to just keep it going. I was like, I'm gonna act like nothing happened. First of all, it's Johnny Bravo, not Jimmy. That's right. That's a good comeback. I'll take it. Thank you. You took it in stride. I got respect for that. I don't care that people call me Jimmy Neutron. I think it's funny. If that's the best I can come up with. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, this is an Xbox Developer Direct waiting room. Make sure and smash the like button. Get us to 200 likes. My excitement for Xbox is not growing as somebody who owns a Series X. It's growing as, okay, you're going to start bringing your big property to the market. Let's see what you got. Right? Jaggy says, "Can we have Light of the World intro music for the Direct?" No, I'm not doing that. It's hilarious, but I'm not doing that. That takes us to 190. We just need a 10 bomb to get to 200 members. Let's go. Let's have a big day. Listen, there's going to be a lot of people coming in to hate watch today and hurl crap at me. Listen, we are a giving and generous and welcoming community. Seriously. If you can come here and banter and not make it mean and personal and make it toxic, then we want you to hang out here. Okay, we want you to. I know a lot of Xbox fans really haven't liked me for a really long time, starting with the ABK deal. All right? Well, I told you all this was going to happen, and I know that stings, but we can move forward and I think just have a good time. Let's just make sure that the games are great. That's all I care about. Henry with a Member Plus bumps the line by 1. Thank you so much for renewing your membership. If you guys are at Member Plus or VIP, it counts towards the goal every month when you do those renewal. Series S and Game Pass didn't kill Xbox. They have over 30 million subscribers. Stop with these stupid comments. Chaos Might, you have to read what they're saying in context, though, Chaos. Listen to what they're saying. Nobody with 5 gifted members. Let's go. We can have a nice big member train today. Let's get these people in here, man. Let's show them how we do this. 2 spots from Trill. He says, your mom. That's right. That's right. And a 10 bomb comes in from Hunter, and that is an agent of chaos. It pushes us past the 200 mark. I owe you guys some members. We're now a 20 bomb away from the next one at 226. 225 is when I owe you guys some more members. We'll see if you can't summon the big boys. Guys, take a quick second. Make sure it is saving your like. Hit that thumbs up. It's not saving your like sometimes. We can hit 200 likes right now. Let's do it. You have to read things in context. When someone says that Game Pass and the Series S killed Xbox, you have to see what they're probably saying. They're saying, listen, what I wanted from Xbox, these things are antithetical to that. They're not on Team Xbox that I was on. I'm saying this as an Xbox fan. I am. I jumped in with the 360 era, built a library. I loved the Xbox Arcade. I played all these games with my wife. I played Borderlands. I played Call of Duty. Then I got the Xbox One. Then I bought the Series X. And Game Pass and the Series S pushed against what I wanted from Xbox. I think that's fair to say. Y'all need to stop wanting Xbox to die? Who wants Xbox to die? If somebody's upset about the Series S and Game Pass, that doesn't sound like somebody who's celebrating. That sounds like somebody who's complaining. I think you're diagnosing what they're saying. I don't think anybody's saying we want Xbox to die. They're saying, why did you do this? This isn't what we wanted. If you go to a world-famous restaurant for its steak and they bring out a cheeseburger, you're like, listen, cheeseburgers are fine, but that's not what I came here for. And they're like, well, why do you want my business to die? And it's like, I don't. But this isn't what I wanted. Don't you see the difference? Patrick with a single and Cybersword with the 5-bomb. That's 6. That gets us to 212. Keep it going, boys. I owe you guys 5. I'm going to wait to drop the 10-bomb. If somebody says, look, man, your Project Scarlet marketing, your Series X marketing, you got me in. I was excited for your gen. I was excited for your console. And you did all this other stuff, and it killed the idea of Xbox. What we all thought we were going to get this gen is gone. It's a distant dream. It didn't come to fruition. And you're saying we wanted Xbox to die? What do you mean? I'm complaining that they got out of the boxing ring. I'm like, what are you doing? Get back in the ring and fight. They walked away from the fight. They're fighting a different fight now. They are looking into publishing. They're looking into ecosystem. They're looking into cloud. They deprioritize their own console. Nobody's saying, yay. I'm so glad I bought a $500 Series X and I barely turned it on. Woohoo! That's why I bought it. It was a long con, guys. I was playing the long con, y'all. I gotcha. I bought the 360, built a library, bought the Xbox One, watched the Project Scarlet marketing, told you guys that Xbox was a sleeping giant, and it was all a long con. I gotcha. I tricked all of you. And when I bought the Series X for $500 and really hoped for a gen of next-gen titles and excellent performance, I was tricking all of you. Really what I wanted the entire time was for Xbox to die. It was a long con. It started with World at War on the 360 on my big, giant, gaudy projection television in my first apartment. It was a long con. I gotcha. Like, come on. Nobody wanted him to die. A lot of the people saying these things were invested. We were invested. We wanted greatness. And we got mediocrity. Cobra with the $5 super chat. Lona, what's the member goal for Madam? Want some bourbon during the day? Hit the goal today. Hit it a day early. Hit the 500 today. You're going to need to call the big boys if you want that. I missed a super chat from Alex. I'm sorry. Alex says, giving a follow on X so I get more authentic games news to know what's going on in the industry. Also hope we get some ABK Dormant IPs announcement. And thank you guys so much for continuing to gift and super chat. We appreciate you so much. Would you like a new nickname? I don't care. What do you got? Sounds like he's coping that PlayStation has no games. Yes, I just talked about my entire history with the Xbox platform from the 360 to now and talked about how many of us have been disappointed with what Xbox did. And what I'm doing is I'm coping about how PlayStation has no games as I played more exclusives on PlayStation last year than I did on Xbox. You have such a dizzying display of intellect and deductive reasoning. You should go into, being the next Sherlock Holmes. Wow, you really got me. You really pegged me there. Woo! Pause. You really got me. You did. Yeah. All of my frustrations about Xbox have to do with the fact that, PlayStation has no games except for somehow, I don't know how it happened, I somehow played more exclusives last year on my PlayStation than I did on the Xbox. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened the year before, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before, and the year before. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how every year I somehow managed to play more exclusives on my PlayStation than Xbox. I don't know how that happened, but it somehow did, But you're right, I'm coping. I am. Oh my gosh, am I coping. Woo! Man. You got me. South of Midnight looks fire. South of Midnight's one of the games I'm looking forward to this year. All these guys calling it woke. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What are you talking about, woke? What do you mean? I see an awesome character fighting an alligator. It might be a crocodile. Where she's located, would it be a crocodile or an alligator? I don't know my animals. It's a fish, whatever it is. In any case, yeah, I think South of Midnight looks sick. I love the art style. The boss fight against the gator, where she jumps and dodges the tail, I'm like, yo, this looks fun. I think it looks great. I do. It's one of my anticipated games this year. Xbox has got 2 bangers for me. South of Midnight and Doom. I'm like, let's go. It'd be a gator. Yeah, it would be a gator, right? Aren't crocodiles... Where are crocodiles? Crocodiles are South America, aren't they? Where are crocodiles located? They're not in North America. Yeah, right? Crocs are South America and Africa? And alligators are like down in Florida and the Gulf. And down in the bayou, right? They're gators. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to South of Midnight and Doom. There's some good stuff coming this year. I'm telling you what. Dude. We're about to see some AC Shadows in about an hour and 20 minutes. Australia and Africa? Okay. There you go. Yeah, some secret games. There's going to be some secret games at this thing. I'm pumped. Doom will be dope. What's in 20 minutes? I said an hour and 20 minutes. In an hour and 20 minutes, we're going to get to see some AC Shadows. Lona, what's the secret game? Spill the tea. Listen now. I don't know. How's Nine Souls? Is it hard? Yes. Oh, yes. I uploaded a boss fight to Twitter last night. That guy had me tilted. He had me tilted. And then I got to the next official named boss fight, like this big robot thing, and I loved it. It's like it was one of the best fights. It was one of the best fights in the game. It was so good. Loved it. Nine Souls is excellent. Now they just gave me a new ability that I'm like, oh my gosh, this game's about to get harder, isn't it? They just gave me an ability where you have to hold block and then let go of it to stop the flashing red attacks. The red attacks up to now, you can't block or parry. You have to dodge them. And now you can block them. And the timing is a little tough. It's like, oh, this is a little weird. You basically charge up the block when you see the attack start and let go as it lands. In Nine Souls, you lose XP if you die. I thought you just lost your money. Do you also lose the XP? I've not paid much attention to it. Yeah. Ponies flocking to the Xbox show. Oh, man. You could live a better life if you would get out of, extended adolescent name calling. You know what I mean? You could live a better life, but you've shown yourself to be the type of person that we don't want here. I don't want anybody gifting a member and you getting it. You're unworthy, I guess would be the right way to say it. You can't hang out here. Nine Souls is in Game Pass. I played on my PC and my Xbox. I missed your super chat. Sorry. Glassdoor says, looking forward to the Xbox third-party direct. Oh, stop it. Stop trolling. We need 2 more super chats to make confetti. We need 13 more members for me to drop a 10 bomb. Let's get it. Let's have a big day. Yeah, let's get the trolls out. Let's get the trolls out and get the good folks in. How's your week? It's about an 8. It's about to be a 9. We're finally going to get some dadgum gaming news, man. Stupid GTA 6, dumb GTA 6, annoying GTA 6, stupid, dumb, idiotic. No, I'm just kidding. They won't say anything, so nobody else will. Yo, Illuminati with a 2 spot. Top 3 things Xbox needs to do to earn your trust. Well, at this point, they need to bring quality games to the market because I just view Xbox as a publisher. That's my relationship with them now. They're not a platform to me anymore. They're not. There's no reason for me to build a library on their platform. Why in the frick would you? They center their identity around Game Pass for the longest time. I barely have turned on my Series X this gen. So what do I need from Xbox? Great games. Nail it with Doom. Right? South of Midnight's going to be the first time I've turned on my Xbox since... I mean, I turned it on for Indiana Jones. South of Midnight will be the first time my Xbox probably has a game roll credits in forever. PlayStation 5 has become my main platform now, especially with the Pro. That's just where I play all my games now. So it's like, well, you're a publisher to me. You better nail it with Doom. You know? I want to see those PS5 Pro enhancements, especially in a game like that. You're just a port-begging pony. You're just playing on your PlayStation in disguise. I mean, at least I'll admit it, you know. And we'll pay Microsoft. I don't care who I pay. Are you getting a kickback every time I buy an Xbox game? No? Then stop acting like it. Lono, notice me. What do you want, Trill? TJ's trying too hard? TJ who? Is it TJ Ray? I'm disappointed that my PS5 became an Xbox. I thought I was buying it for Sony first party. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's creative. I tell you what, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like a Doc Dark video to me. Doc, are you in here on an alt? That sounds like a Doc Dark video. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that my PlayStation became an Xbox. Really? Could you play Stellar Blade on Xbox last year? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? What about Rise of the Ronin? Could you play Helldivers 2? No? That's weird. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink? No? Huh. Awkward. There's an awful lot of exclusives last year on my PlayStation that you're saying is an Xbox. A Firebomb from Gambit Zero takes us to 217. 217. FCat says that's definitely a Doc video. That's a Doc video, bro. That's a Doc video if I've ever heard one. I'm really disappointed that my PlayStation basically became an Xbox. Listen. Y'all know what I'm going to say, right? You know what I'm going to say. Everything's an Xbox. My camera, this microphone, this coffee cup, everything's an Xbox now, right? Oh. JC with 20 months, getting closer to the red badge. And just curious, Lono, at this Direct, do you think they announce these games coming to PlayStation and the Switch too? Because I think they will. Thank you for the VIP. It bumps the line to 218. Thank you very much. I bought Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the blurry mess on PS5. Hey, listen to me. You have every right to be upset about that. You do. Just like I was upset about Final Fantasy 16. Somebody asked me about a crash test dummy in the background. No, that's C-3PO. You totally broke my train of thought, Trill. I was like, my brain just broke. I was like, what on earth is he seeing as a crash test dummy back there? Yeah, you have every right to be upset about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth performance on the PS5. I mean, I stopped playing Final Fantasy 16 for the same reason. I don't hold back in my criticism about either of those games and their performance on the PS5. That falls on Square Enix. Those aren't first-party PlayStation titles. So, like, you know, you got to choose what you're upset about. You do. Well, we didn't get enough first-party. Oh, we got exclusives. Oh, yeah, but that Final Fantasy. Well, I thought you worried about first-party. Why'd you get Final Fantasy then? Was it that bad? Oh, yeah. FF7 Rebirth on PlayStation 5. I think they patched some of it. I didn't follow it, but when it came out, good golly, it was bad. Now, FF16's performance is fine in combat, and the frame rate's all over the place the minute you're not in combat. I can't stand it. It drives me freaking crazy. They give you dynamic resolution in the combat, so it's solid 60. the minute the combat sequence ends, it's like it's like jittery. It's like 30s and 40s. Super annoying. The performance in Rebirth is fine. It's the image quality. Right, sorry. I'm using lots of words quickly. Quick! Somebody clip him! He said the performance in Rebirth is bad. It's not the performance, it's the image quality. Haha, got him. Reforge lying again. They didn't do crap for PS5. Performance looks like crap. Rebirth on the Pro. Yeah, Rebirth on the Pro is huge jump in image quality. Yeah. Square Enix optimization this gen's been kind of... Yeah, it's been kind of... I was especially frustrated with how they did interviews about FF16. Look, we're going to show off the power of the PS5. With what? Frame rates in the 30s and 40s? What are you talking about? Like, I get it. The icon fights and the art direction is great. It's great in FF16, but the performance is just all over the place. Illuminati, over under on 3 games shown today coming to PlayStation. Well, we know Doom is. Expedition 33 is third party. It is. What's the other one? South of Midnight. That'll probably be a stagger. There's no reason to say anything about it coming to PlayStation today. I wouldn't want to take the wind out of its sails. Let it have a strong launch. I'm kind of pulling for that studio in that game. But there's some surprises. We've heard the Japanese game Surprise is a multiplat. We've heard that from Jez Gordon. He believes it's a multiplat. $10 super chat from Supremacy. Loney, you're not just paying Microsoft, but also 30% to Sony. And yes, most got PS5 for exclusives, but adding Microsoft exclusives mean you have the best of both worlds without having to invest in another platform. Oh, for sure. For sure. Here's the thing, though, Supremacy. Do you want to know what I wanted? I didn't want to buy Xbox games on my PlayStation. I wanted to buy Xbox games on my Xbox, and I wanted them to be amazing. That's what I wanted. I bought the Series X first. Like, that was where I started. That's where I was invested. I am not at all like, grab the confetti, yay! I can buy all the Xbox games on my PlayStation. I don't give a frick about that. I wanted the games to be amazing. I wanted them to come out and crush it. What I wanted from them was, I just wanted Series X, the Series S should have never happened, and I wanted them to focus on big first-party releases. And it took a while. We're getting there. A lot of what they're bringing to the market is stuff that they bought. Like, I mean, you can say that it counts or it doesn't count or whatever, but it's like, okay. I mean, it took this long, and a lot of what you're buying to pad the cadence was something that you just purchased, not some studio you invested in and, like, you know, fostered a relationship with over the years. You're like, yeah, we bought it, it's ours. Black Ops 6 is ours now. And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, good for you. Like, seeing Pony's happy about an Xbox showcase makes me happy. GTA 6 trailer 2 is finally out. I'm not kidding. So is this what you're gonna... Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna time you out again. All right? This is our relationship now. Is that you come back once a day. You come back once a day and claim that the trailer has hit. And one day, you will be correct, sir. And then you get to hang out that day. But that is not this day. That is not this day. Any idea when the developer direct starts? In 2 hours. 1 p.m. Eastern. In an hour, we're going to be checking out all of the Assassin's Creed Shadows previews. That'll be exciting. Lona, can you do me a favor? Can you get a display that just says, some people just don't want to play on PC? And that day is the day he gets a gifted member from me. Oh, wow. My cable internet just went down. Thankfully, I'm not streaming on it, and I'm streaming on my AT&T. That's scary. Yeah, he's going to have his day. Yeah. He'll have it. He'll have it one day, but not today. I'll visit again when Sony actually has some games for my PS5. Great. That should happen really soon. Like when Indiana Jones or Doom releases. or Yote or Death Stranding 2. Yeah. Yeah. Or all the third-party games that are coming out. Yeah. Third party doesn't count. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. And a 5-bomb comes in from Mike. Mike, Mr. Oxmall. Appreciate you, dude. You know, one day maybe you'll be a little bigger than you are now, but right now, you're not. You know, maybe one day, Mr. Oxmall, you'll gift more than a 5-bomb. Listen, respect and credit where credit is due. You got Mooch the other night, and that was excellently done. It was good. Uninformed Gamer, is that an upgrade or is that a renewal to Member Plus? Which is it? When you guys upgrade to Member Plus, it counts as 2. Mr. Oxmall, we do appreciate you, sir. We do appreciate you. Sven asking TJ, who is, clearly just out here trolling. He says, genuine question for you. What games are lacking that make you think PS5 doesn't have any exclusives? They clearly have exclusives. What are you wanting to change? Yeah, what are you wanting? What's the issue, bro? That's an upgrade? My man. That's my man. I love it. I love it. You know what you just did? You just got 2 right on the nose. 225. I now owe you guys a 10-bomb. That is how much we value upgrades here. They count as 2. Use the upgrade command. Get on Member Plus. Let's do it. We're trying to get 600 people on Member Plus and above, and you just put us at the most we've ever had, 561. We need 39 people to upgrade. Come on, y'all can do it. There's thousands of you on a gifted every month. There's about 100 of you paying for the $5 membership. Spend that extra buck. Bump it up. The time is now. Oh, it's a Chamber of Commerce email. I don't need to read that. Well, why do you have this room divided? I don't know. I mean, it's just the nature of things. You know? Regular consumers don't know anything about first, second, and third party, says Joe Kane. They just buy games. Never understood that argument. Yeah, so Joe, I've been doing this a lot. I've been showing people this blog from PlayStation because this really cements the idea that PlayStation doesn't give a frick about... They don't give a frick about, oh, we need to have more first party than third party. They don't care. You want to know why? Those are rookie numbers. You're a rookie number. Farmer Nerd TV. Anyways, so this is all of the games coming in 2025, right? The best, okay, look at the phrasing. The best new and upcoming games of 2025. There's one first party game in the mix. One. Ghost of Yote, Hell Is Us, say AC Shadows, Doom. This is an Xbox published game. This is a Microsoft published game on their list. This is PlayStation's blog right here. PlayStation doesn't give a frick. They don't care. Death Stranding 2 is basically second party. You know? Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza, Little Nightmares 3, Where Winds Meet, Monster Hunter Wilds, Dynasty Warriors, Borderlands 4, Forever Skies, Elden Ring Night Rain, Five Nights at Freddy's, Split Fiction, Crimson Desert, Civilization 7, Mafia: The Old Country, Baby Steps, The Midnight Walk. Now listen, I want you to consider something here. I want you to consider something here, okay? When these guys are like, man, I got a PlayStation, but PlayStation has no games, do you know what they're saying? They're not a gamer. Or they're a liar. Because when this number of games is coming out, you either are not a gamer and you're just pretending to play one on TV, or you're a liar. This is too many games. I'll never be able to finish all these games this year. Never. I'm interested in a bunch of these. And a 10 bomb comes in from Uninformed Gamer. He's a believer. He doesn't just upgrade. He adds 10 people to the count. Let's go. 235. Let's see if you can bait a tag team 20 bomb. We're one super chat away from confetti. Like, I'm interested in so many of these games. Like, I'm out here playing games. I don't care about any of this crap. I'm like, okay, Ghost of Yote, I will force myself to make time to roll credits on Yote. Can't wait. Hell is Us looks incredible. AC Shadows is looking better and better. We're going to look at previews in an hour. Doom the Dark Ages. Can't frickin' wait. I've played since the first Doom was made. Death Stranding 2 looks breathtaking. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza might be the first Yakuza game I play and complete. Little Nightmares 3. I loved the first two. Where Winds Meet looks good. Monster Hunter Wilds. Maybe it wins me over. I don't know. Dynasty Warriors, not for me. Borderlands 4, can't wait. Forever Skies looks good, maybe not necessarily my cup of tea. Elden Ring Night Rain, looks like it could be fun. Community game night with you guys, Five Nights at Freddy's, not mine. Split Fiction, can't wait. Those guys make killer games. My wife and I loved It Takes Two. Hilly and I loved It Takes Two. Crimson Desert, looks too good to be true. We'll see. They're saying their engine is why the game looks so incredible. Civ 7, not for me. Mafia the Old Country, looks incredible. Baby Steps looks like a great rage game for a member incentive. The Midnight Walk has a really creative animated style. That's so many games, and that's not all the games coming this year. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, third party, is coming this year, and it looks incredible. This is more games than there are months in the year. There's no way you're going to be able to play all these dadgum games. But you want to keep score on Twitter, and you're like, well, there's not enough first party, and PlayStation must be desperate for first party. Go ahead. Go ahead. Mark Anthony makes the confetti rain, and that means I owe you guys a member. Every time you guys make the confetti rain in chat, I gift a member. I will gift a member. I gift a member to one lucky person. Thank you, Mark Anthony, for making it happen. Here we go. We are going to gift a single to some lucky person right now, and it is, boom, in chat. There it goes. And thank you, Joker Quinn. Joker Quinn and I both just added to the total. Joker Quinn gifts a single. My single goes up to 237. What's good, Gabriel? You're going for the Stellar Blade Platinum? I still have Astrobot, Silent Hill 2, Ronin, and then Assassin's Creed Shadows and Phantom Blade 0. Come on, I'm overwhelmed. That's what I'm saying, Locoism. That's what I'm saying. So many. Chris Davies, did you tell me my new nickname yet? Did you? Oh, Ace Ventura. I've gotten that one before. Yeah. I've gotten the Ace Ventura thing. Bumblebee Tuna. Mr. Johnson with the member plus, and Cisco with the gifted. That's 2. That bumps the line to 239. We're having a big day, and none of the big gifter boys are here, and ADR Zone does a super chat. I love how you handle the buffoonery, brother. Thank you so much, ADR Zone. You the best. Welcome back. What's this? Dross official Nintendo Switch release date trailer. Is this only for Switch, or is this multi? What in the world is this? Oh, it's like a top-down, isometric, dark fantasy puzzle platformer. Okay, cool. How many platforms is that on? I don't really want to get games for my Switch 1 anymore. Happy Cloud Gamer says, I think if the PlayStation 6 is in 2027, I'm worried that Sony investors... What? Well, you put a period there. I'm worried that Sony investors will force Sony to put the money into the movie studios. We can't believe that PlayStation will be untouchable forever. There is no cohesive logic to those sentences at all. I don't even understand what you're saying. Number one, I think the PlayStation 6 in 2027 is a miscalculation. I don't believe that's happening. I believe it's 2028. And the Sony investors then pushing them to put money into the movie studios PlayStation makes them the most money. So I'm not sure where you're coming from. And I don't see a logical connection between the PlayStation 6 launch window with movie studio investments. Trill, I'm going to say it. Don't get mad. It's kind of a non sequitur. Like, it doesn't logically follow what you're saying. Like, if the PlayStation 6 launches in 2027, then Sony investors are going to say, we want you to invest in the movie studios. Like, PlayStation's not untouchable. I have no idea what you're thinking and why you're thinking it. 2030 for the PlayStation 6? No, it's 2028. It's 2028. They said in 2024 they were entering into the latter half. That would mean 4 more years, not 3. Like, I don't think that makes any sense. I can't see this gen being a rigid 7 years. I don't think so. Trill says, I'll let this one slide. Can we get a non sequitur emo? No. I'm not allowed to speak smart. I'm not allowed to talk good. I have to talk dumb. Did you see the Phantom Blade Zero trailer? It does not look real. Looked insane. I think it looks real. It just looks very fast. UK Stobbs with a super chat. First one to add to the goal. I don't know why the last one didn't count. Sorry about that. If no new games ever come out again, I would still never clear my backlog. Right, UK Stobbs? Good to see you, by the way, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, what in the world? There's so many. It's stupid how many games are in my backlog. It's just so dumb. It's like, listen, I can't play games like I used to. And a 20 bomb comes in from Uninformed Gamer. The first 20 bomb of the day. And that is a big one. Right past the 50 mark, all the way to 259. I owe you guys 5 more members. Keep the member train going. We will celebrate if you hit the 500 today. Madam wanted to have some bourbon in the middle of the day yesterday, and I said no. And somebody asked if we could do it today. I'm like, well, if you hit the goal a day early, we'll throw one in the glass. I got PS5 day 1 for Demon Souls. Sony would have to really incentivize me to get a PS6 with a launch title. Yeah, I mean, I actually think launch titles are going to become, I just don't know. I don't think they're going to be as important in the future because they're going to be cross-gen anyway, first couple of years. I think Project Amethyst and the PSSR tech and the PS5 Pro will likely lead to a better cadence of launch titles because they will be games already in production. So the way I've described this is Project Amethyst and PSSR are going to create cartilage between the gens because devs right now working on games and they're tapping into PSSR for the Pro, it's going to be very easy for them to build a game for the 6 because it's going to leverage the same technology. Sorcerer comes in with a gifted. When the first PSSR leaks came out, they said that their goal beyond the Pro was to get 4K 120 8K 60. And that this version of it would just give 4K 60, 8K 30. So they want to double the frame rates on both those resolution thresholds. So I think what they're saying is like this technology's long tail. And I think that's going to lead to a stronger push when the PlayStation 6 comes out. Because you'll have studios that are like, oh yeah, we're totally familiar with the technology of the PlayStation 6. Like when they finally get their hands on the dev kit, it's going to be very easy for them to make it a cross-gen game like they did with Ragnarok and Forbidden West. Like I don't think it'll be difficult. Like Spider-Man 3, for example, will probably be a huge cross-gen launch. It'll probably be massive. Number 1, because it's the 3rd game. And number 2, because they're going to be familiar with the technology. You know what I mean? Thank you, Sorcerer, for bumping the line with the member. We're at 260. 260. I owe you guys 5. I'm going to wait a minute. No comment on the X outrage. Huh? What X outrage? What are you talking about? The film industry is in a free fall. Too many businesses obstructing issues have occurred back to back industry-wide. Sony has no streaming, so it would be a bad bet. Yeah, I don't see Sony. I totally agree with you. My text was horrible. Would really write a lot to say more meaningful, good text, but chat doesn't work like that. You're good, Happy Cloud Gamer. Happy hang on, you responded. You said, oh no, you haven't responded. Yeah, I'm still not sure what you were meaning about like PS6 cadence in the movie investment. I'm glad you called out that Xbox shill McCaffrey. I mean, I just don't understand why he's saying what he's saying. You know? Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 won't be a next-gen exclusive game. We will release future titles on a wide range of platforms so that more people can play them. I can't promise anything at this point, but we want many people to play games as we create. Hey! ADR Zone just helped us get closer to the goal of Member Plus. New members that pick Plus, you count as 2. That takes us to 262. Guys, if you sign up brand new for a membership, make sure you pick Member Plus. The $5 member tier is basically the gifted tier. When you pick Member Plus, you get into more content. You get into the green room at the end of every day. If you have never done a membership on YouTube before, try it out for a month. It's $6. See if you like all the extra content, all the extra streams, as well as the Discord. That means this gen and next for console people. Yeah, I mean, he's not saying firmly in any direction what the next game's going to be. He's just saying he's not going to make promises. I mean, that doesn't mean it won't be next gen. He's just saying, yeah, I'm not going to promise that right now. It seems like that, no, it would be cross-gen again. In many respects, I think that the cross-gen discussion's always going to be ongoing because every game is different. Like, every game is different. Anastasia, oh my gosh, I just said it. You got it. Thank you so much, Anastasia. I'll let you double dip, Anastasia. If you upgrade to Member Plus, I'll count 2 more. You can actually count as 3. Whenever you sign up as a new member, you want to pick Member Plus. Listen, try it out for a month. If you like it, then bump up. Because next month, if you renew that membership, I can't tell the difference between you and a gifted member. YouTube does not give me the ability to do that. He was referring to all of the Reddit and Discord groups boycotting anything on X. Oh. I mean, listen, if Reddit and all these other places don't want you to be able to post links to X or Twitter because of just how toxic it's become, okay, that's their choice, you know? I don't really care. I think I'm one of the guys that mostly play on Xbox as Happy Cloud Gamer that think Xbox going third party is amazing news. It's a win if they sell hardware or not. More investment into Game Pass. And a single gift that comes in from WGC. Thank you, WGC. That bumps the line to 264. Thank you very much, WGC. Oh, WGC's doing the Spear to Stone Spire. He wants somebody to do a 10 bomb to 275. He's trying to tag team. I'll owe you guys 10 members when this hits 275. Wait, I think so. Did I do a 5 bomb for 250? I've been trying to space them out and do 10 bombs. Yeah, I'll owe you guys a 10 bomb at 275. My last gifted was just a single for the super chats. Every 5 super chats, I gift a single member. WGC says he's lobbing the pass. We'll see if anybody takes it. FFR3 would stun me if they actually dropped on Xbox day and date. I wouldn't be surprised if the cross-gen games, they really no reason for it not to be. Oh my gosh. And a 20 bomb from Uninformed Gamer. He's decided to pick up the mantle and he's like, I'm the big man on campus. Dropping the member bombs today. He's like, Mash who? Behemoth who? Rissick who? Uninformed Gamers taking the crown today. Huge member bombs. He's like, oh, you need a 10 bomb? Take a 20 bomb instead. And Sorcerer gifts a single and takes us to 286. Thank you so much. More investment into the thing that killed them. Yeah, here's the thing about going multi-plat, okay? I don't think... I forgot to put the coffee up. If you guys are coffee drinkers and you want another great way to support what we do, this is not a sponsor. This is ours. We pay for it. We have it shipped here. I ship it to you. It's pre-ground. It's balanced and low acidic coffee. So if you've never had coffee with low acidity or balanced acidity and you're a coffee drinker, check out our coffee. My wife and kiddos ship it to you. They put little thank you notes in there. That's another great way to support, especially if you're already paying for and drinking coffee. Try out Reforge Roast. We're having a big sale right now on our holiday blend as well as our bundles. When it comes to multiplat, right, I don't know if a bunch of studios are suddenly going to decide they want to do that. Xbox is about to be in an unprecedented position, and let me explain what I mean. So right now, some of the biggest multiplat games are pretty formulaic, okay? So sports games are a good example of this. They come out at a regular cadence. They're accustomed to building their game for multiple platforms, right? PlayStation, PC, Xbox, all right? So that is sort of a set pattern that they have grown accustomed to, and the scope of those games is pretty narrow, if we're honest. Racing games, sports games, and I would even maybe say fighting games. The scope of the project is a little bit more narrow than something like an open world action adventure game, or a game that's trying to push into new technology with machine learning, AI. Maybe they want to use path tracing or ray tracing or 4K or whatever, okay? So a lot of your multi-plat titles, number one, they've been doing it for a long time, and number two, a lot of those games, their scope is somewhat smaller. Then when you look at games that scope is bigger, let's take, for example, Jedi Survivor. That game had a broader scope than a sports game. You got to build all these different environments. You have to build all these different enemy fights, aggro patterns, animations, boss fights, skill trees. All that broadens the scope. A football game is a football game. They, especially if they've been building them for how many years, they have all that institutional knowledge and existing assets to lean on, right? So typically when you go broader in scope with the game and then you go multiplat, you end up with launches that aren't as good. The pattern is very clear. Most of the multiplat launches lately have been the ones that have been in the worst shape because they're building for so many platforms, and then that gets compounded by the fact that, like, if they're actually trying to do something new or cool or creative, Cyberpunk could be an example of this, notoriously bad launch. So thank you so much, Hotshot, for 21 months. So back to what I was saying. Xbox is about to be in an unprecedented position because they want to publish on more platforms than any multi-platform publisher has ever done before. That's never been done before. You've never had a publisher say, we literally want to be everywhere. And when we mean everywhere, we mean everywhere. We want to be on the Switch 2. We want to be on PlayStation 5. We want to tap into PlayStation 5 Pro enhancements. We want to be on PC. We need to build for the Series S. We need to build for the Series X. I worry that that's just too much. I want them to build games for the Xbox and PC first, and then bring the games to PlayStation and Nintendo later, or work with porting companies. Yo, Mike on the mic bumps the line. Thank you so much. We want money. Listen, Microsoft reminds me of Disney. It's like, well, they push cadence over quality. We know this. Disney pushed that with the Star Wars games. They pushed it with their Marvel shows and their Star Wars shows. It's cadence over quality, right? Whoever, they hire terrible directors and writers that have nothing good in their resume, and they hire them to touch Obi-Wan. Still mad about that. Anyways, I worry about that affecting quality. Like, if Xbox is telling their devs, you need to build for PC, Series S, Series X, Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, and then devs obviously want to tap into PS5 Pro enhancements, that is so broad. That's so broad. I don't know. I think it's too heavy. It's like, no, that's not good for development. The ideologues will tell you it's always better when games are everywhere. They're so disconnected from reality. There isn't a developer alive that would be like, oh no, yeah, one of the best things to help our project come to market and to be innovative and cool, fresh, new, experimental, as well as polished and optimized, one of the best things to help us do that is to build for every system. No, they're never going to say that. They're going to say the opposite. They're going to be like, no, if you want a game to be experimental, innovative, tap into new ideas, new technology, you also want to be polished and optimized, well, you got to build for one system then. You got to shrink the scope of the project. You have to shrink the scope of the project. They'll all say that. Almost universally. You will only find devs that are doing like the more shrunken scope games like sports games or racing games. And again, they've been doing multi-plat for years, especially the sports games. It's like they can rely on all that experience. Well, if all these other studios do it, well, then they would get the experience. I mean, that would be fair pushback on what I'm saying. But I think historically speaking, the reason companies don't do it is because it's adversarial to their efforts. It's like, well, you're going to spend a lot more money and time. Hopefully the game lands in a good state. Hopefully the game lands at quality. He said at quality. What does that mean? Xbox going third party is not good for gamers in general, but the defending them is the only thing that makes me feel like we're doomed. Why defend them, especially considering y'all don't get paid for it? Yeah, who's defending them, T-Bird? Who are you talking about? Here's the issue with this. This goes back to something Steve Jobs said before he died. And he talked about when you let the sales guys, dictate what's going on instead of the tech guys, right? Because the tech guys are going to push innovation and the sales guys are going to push what's going to sell. And then you end up with something that's got nothing behind it. Nothing but an angle. Everything is an Xbox, right? Making everything an Xbox and leaning into more publishing, basically becoming like a multi-plat publisher. Who did that come from? That didn't come from developers. Didn't come from gamers. That didn't come from somebody who's like thinking about the projects and the game and the creative process. That's coming from an executive. It's devoid of passion. It's devoid of creative care. He's like, we'll make the most money if we do that. Make everything an Xbox. Put our games everywhere. Do you see? I don't think people understand, like, can we, hey, real quick, y'all. Let's get 12 more likes. Let's get 300 likes on the video. Great turnout today. So many members. Again, if you guys are considering trying out a membership for the first time on YouTube, hit the join button. Make sure you pick Member Plus. It's $6. I add 2 to the count when you do that. Even when you upgrade, I count it as 2. So consider upgrading. There's an upgrade command, and I'm going to start pulling some questions from the members. They have submitted 2 questions already today, and that's something you can do. You can ask me questions anytime, but you can have the question pop up like this when you are a member to this community, gifted or paying. So the guys out here that are defending this, right? The Bleed Green podcasts that are like, oh, this is good, or the guys that just get in line, right? Well, this is where the industry's going. No, it's not, but you're just saying that because you have to toe the party line. You can't get critical and say this is a bad idea. Think about what you're defending. You are not defending a creative, gamer-focused plan. You're defending an executive's strategy to maximize profit. That's what you're defending. Satya Nadella's vision for Xbox is not driven by creative care or creative vision or passion for better games. He's like, this is going to make us more money. That's what you're defending. You're defending some passionless, soulless executive strategy. He's the C-suite of the biggest software company in the world. He doesn't give a frick about the studios and the creative process. He doesn't care. Phil's not driving the ship anymore. Yo, thank you, RPG, for the Member Plus. Member Plus Renew, my man, putting us to $289. Like, you have to see that for what it is. Like, Satya is, like, listen to me. Do you remember when Phil Spencer was doing that interview and he said the word creative like 15 times? And a single from Stonespire sets us up for a 10 bomb to 300. We'll see if anybody takes the bait. That's an easy dunker. Thank you, Stonespire. Do you remember when Phil Spencer did that interview and I told you guys, and there it is! Uninformed Gamer was waiting and ready to get us to 300 members, and I owe you guys a 10 bomb. What a setup from Stonespire. Love it. So generous. We need 200 more members, and we're having some bourbon in the middle of the day. You guys are crazy. And then Madam will continue her Kingdom Come Deliverance stream tomorrow night. You guys are amazing. Now, I said at the time when Phil Spencer kept saying creative, 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 Phil was signaling that, listen, that's what we need. We need to focus on creative. We need creativity. Well, you know what's antithetical to that? Microsoft is antithetical to that. It's not Phil's fault. Phil's sitting here saying we need creativity. We need creatives, free to invest in their vision and try new things. And Satya is saying, no, we need you to put the games everywhere because that will make us more money. We need you to put contract workers on an 18-month contract policy so we don't have to pay their benefits because that makes us more money. Those two things are antithetical to the creative process. Microsoft, I've said this for years, and one day some of these folks are going to wake up and be like, he was right. Microsoft is acidic to creative process because they are a software company. They make something that is utilitarian. Microsoft Office and cloud solutions and Office 365, they're tools. They're utilitarian. They don't have to be driven by passion or creativity. If Bob is on an 18-month contract and he's smoothing over bugs in Office 365 and his contract expires and he leaves and you put somebody in his seat, they don't have to pick up the vision transfer for the project or the idea of what they're trying to bring to bear. No, he's just trying to make sure that Office isn't buggy. You can replace that guy a lot easier. You lose a guy on a creative effort, somebody developing a game who gets plugged into a team. He receives the vision transfer of what they're building. He's developing a rapport with the team and the project lead. And then 18 months later, whoop, he's gone. You lose all of that. You lose all of his gained knowledge, his experience. Maybe there were tricks and loopholes and shortcuts that he figured out within the engine. All that's gone out the door. And when you put somebody else in his place, there's an entire onboarding process. That new person has to be trained on your engine, on your assets, on your processes. You got to start over. This is why whenever this conversation comes up, and I'm always like, dude, half of the people at 343 were on a contract walking out the door every 18 months. That is not going to lead to a good game. You can't keep blaming 343. You've got to look at Microsoft and say, y'all don't understand the creative process of building a game. You're trying to apply a software strategy, all these axioms and structures for building utilitarian software, and you're trying to bring that to bear on game developers, and it doesn't work. Why do you think creative directors keep leaving? Why? Well, because they don't want to work under this. It's like... Everybody working on the game is just running through a checklist of tasks. Yeah, if you're on a contract. Do you think we'll get the Indiana Jones release date for PS5 today? No, today is about the developers. It's not. I don't think they would do that. They'll just push out a trailer probably. The Developer Direct is about going to developers, letting them talk, interviewing them, visiting the studios, and focusing on them and their games. They're supposed to be in the spotlight. That's why it's called Developer Direct. I think it would do them a disservice to be like, oh yeah, by the way, Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation 5. Or like, I just, maybe it could be like a trailer in between, but I don't think so. I smudged my glasses during all that. El Duderino says, you could say the same about Apple. They're a hardware software company, yet they can hire and adapt and let creatives do their thing on Apple TV and Apple Arcade. Businesses can change. I'm here to tell you that if Microsoft doesn't get rid of that 18-month contract policy, you're going to see a continued flat tire. You'll see some studios that pull it off and excel, like Machine Games with Indiana Jones or games like Doom, and you'll see other studios falter. It's really, really hard to work under those conditions. Xbox is playing the long game that the majority of people don't see and can't comprehend. What long game do you think they're playing, Cobra Kai? I'm Optus for Project Dark. Thought it looked good, but I don't think we'll touch it until early 26. Project Dark. Oh, you mean Perfect Dark. You mean Perfect Dark. We don't know who's under this policy. They all are. I have it on good authority. I have it on very good authority. I know somebody who is very close to somebody who works at Blizzard Activision. And when they came in and they did the layoffs last year, they primarily targeted full-time employees. And they want to get the contract people under the contract policy of Microsoft. That's how Microsoft gets operating costs down. It is. You remove your full-time employees, and then you get people on a contract so you don't have to pay them benefits, and you increase the percentage of contract employees so you're paying less incentives and your operating costs go down. ROI and margins go up. It's a perfectly logical strategy, but it's not good for creative process because you're just losing long-standing employees and you're going to lean on contract workers. You should be thanking Xbox for giving games for your precious PS5. Okay. We'll get right on that. Where would you like us to send the thank you note? Should I send it to Phil Spencer? Should I send it to you? You seem to be taking credit for it, I guess. I mean, who do we send the thank you note to? It's also a California thing. Microsoft doesn't want to pay benefits, but they have to if they keep them longer than 18 months. Divisive says, I told you there are people out here that really think that Microsoft has some sort of master plan and everyone else is just too slow to see it. Cobra Kai just proved it. Well, we need to know what he thinks their long game is. I think they have a long game. I think they do. I don't think people are going to like it. I don't think they're going to like it. Perfect Image submits a question as a member. He says, do you remember what Sony first-party games Sony players waiting? You need to type complete sentences. I don't know what you're saying. Cobra Kai submitted the question. What were your thoughts on Stellar Blade? I tried the demo and the combat seems slow with a lot of parrying. Does the combat speed up or is it less hack and slash? Right, let me hang on a second. Are we talking about the same game? Big Daddy Phil going to save the PS5? Save it. Why does the PS5 need saving? It's selling between 2 and 3 to 1 to the Xbox. Its market saturation is on pace to surpass the PS4. What? I'm not sure. What do you mean? What does the PS5 need saving? Xbox's hardware saturation's the worst it's ever been. I'm confused. I'm always confused by people that think that Xbox is in the position of power. Xbox has basically abandoned the fight because they couldn't win. It's a hack and slash. Stellar Blade is not a hack and slash. Like, sales don't matter. Oh my gosh. It's games that matter in which PS5 has canceled 10. There it is. Oh my golly. Okay. There it is. There it is, chat. Sales don't matter, man. Yeah, it's the games that matter. You know? Wow. Stellar Blade is 100 things off the top of my head. Slow is somewhere around 400 on that list. Yeah, there is nothing slow about Stellar Blade. Like, if you play the demo and you try the boss fight, good lord, it's not slow at all. This is what I felt like Stellar Blade was. Stellar Blade was basically an action game that was inspired by Sekiro. That's kind of how I saw it. You have your beta abilities that are sort of a action game infusion, so you're not purely relying. And then it's got like the parry system of Sekiro. The demo was slow. Brother, I don't know what the frick you're talking about. I don't know if you ate a gummy before you played or if you were day drinking. I don't remember there being anything slow about Stellar Blade. Like, the early area, it's not like hyper fast, but like the parry windows are pretty narrow. The enemies are pretty fast. Again, I'm confused why you experienced that and thought it was slow. I mean, did you just finish playing like Neo 2 or something? Like, what is fast to you if Stellar Blade is slow? And a $5 super chat from J Hart. They're saying the canceled live service games are the canary in the coal mine for PlayStation shutting down. Okay, listen. If you're gonna go to the guys who have been writing fan fiction about Xbox for like the last couple of years and got everything wrong about full slate going, switching into more of a publisher, deprioritizing hardware, the acquisition not doing anything for you and leading to studios closing down and layoffs, like, they got all of that wrong. They ignored the CFO's comments about games going to PlayStation and Nintendo. They ignored Satya's comments. They claimed that, guys like me didn't understand the context and that they were only talking about ABK. If you're going to go to those people and they're going to be like, yo, these canceled live service games are the canary in the coal mine, PlayStation's going to shut down, you're quite literally going to somebody who lost everything on crypto and you're asking them for investment advice. Gee, mini Christmas. So listen, I've always said this. I've continued to say this. Everything comes from the shareholders' calls, the investor calls. That's where you know what's happening, okay? That's why when the CFO said what he said at the Wells Fargo Summit and all those guys ignored it, I was like, you guys are literal dolts. Like, you're not paying attention. When Satya said what he said, I was like, he is telling the shareholders, this is what we've always wanted to do. This is what we're going to do. And everybody ignored it, okay? Everybody ignored it. Just strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. Sit on the bench and be quiet and let the adults talk. Listen, if you listen to PlayStation, they have said, we are continuing our live service efforts. They're not lowering their investments in it. They're not. They just got done saying they're continuing their efforts. Part of that is canceling games. It is. People don't understand. Yoshida said this back in 2023. Yoshida, who just retired, and people misrepresented his statements to make it seem like Horizon Forbidden West failed because they're grifters and they're liars. Listen, Yoshida said in 2023, they cancel games all the time. They cancel tons of games. It's what they do. They make assessments on the project and they cancel them. After Concord, they're obviously going to be a little shell-shocked and say, listen, we can't do that again. We can't do that again. Everybody needs to be doing assessment of all these projects right now. So canceling games, this is what people don't understand. They're interpreting canceling games as crisis. These are the same people that think that PlayStation lost $400 million on Concord because they're either dumb, listen to dumb people, or listen to liars. Like, pick one of the three. It's like, they literally think like, well, PlayStation lost $400 million on Concord. And you can tell them that $200 million came from investment pre-purchase, and another $200 million came from other investments post-purchase, and none of that $400 million came from PlayStation. And they don't care, because they're interested in fan fiction and lies, because it makes them feel better about their choices, or their opinions, or their life. The truth is, Concord was a disaster, but it didn't cost PlayStation $400 million. Concord was basically the iceberg. Like, oh my gosh, we clearly need better oversight on these projects. That's what Bungie is there for. That's why Sony has been absorbing Bungie and forming their Center for Live Service Excellence, the Live Service Center of Excellence, or whatever the frick it's called. That's their job. And if they assessed that whatever Bend was working on and whatever Blue Point was shopping, and they're like, this won't work, shut it down, that's not a sign of financial crisis. That's a sign of the system working. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do. Triggered, are we? If that's the best you can come up with when a myriad of facts disrupt your delusion about what's going on, the best you can come up with is triggered, then you might as well take the rest of the day off and not type again, because you clearly aren't big enough to get on the ride. Like, these are the facts. I haven't said anything that isn't factual. I haven't said anything that's not rooted in verifiable facts, shareholders calls, earnings calls, or Q&A. This isn't fan fiction. I know you're used to fan fiction and drivel from people who just make things up. This is what's going on. This is how these systems operate. Even Phil said they need better internal systems because they don't want another Redfall happening. Like, disasters like Redfall and Concord show internal mechanisms are not working. There's a problem somewhere. When the internal mechanisms start firing and you cancel a project that isn't going to go anywhere, that's what's supposed to happen. And everybody also lies because telling the truth is so difficult. Number one, Naughty Dog canceled Factions, not Sony. Naughty Dog was essentially told by Bungie, you're going to have to turn into a live service studio if you want to get this off the ground. And Naughty Dog's like, we don't want to become a live service studio. Naughty Dog had no idea what they were doing, and they got served up a dose of reality, and they said, we can't do this. We got Intergalactic in the pipeline. We want to make The Last of Us Part 3. We can't be a live service studio. That had nothing to do with Sony. Sony didn't walk in the room and cancel it. Naughty Dog figured out, we don't know what the frick we're doing. Okay? That's Bungie doing what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be the last barrier before something hits the market and is an utter disaster. What they're doing is they're going to move that back further, and you're going to have to start pitching games and concepts to this Center for Live Service of Excellence, okay? So Naughty Dog's thing was not canceled by Sony. Sony canceled 2 games recently, the Bend game and the Blue Point game. So that's the recent headline news. NCSoft did not cancel Horizon MMO. We heard they went through feasibility reviews and that they canceled the Horizon MMO. Number one, that's not PlayStation, that's NCSoft. And number two, that has now been corrected. That's not been canceled. So the minute these internal mechanisms start firing and canceling games, that's what they're supposed to do. They literally spent $3 billion getting Bungie so they could have a live service sifting floor to say, not going to make it, not going to make it. That's what's supposed to happen. So saying, oh, yep, cancel live service games, but PlayStation's in trouble. It's a canary in the coal mine. You don't understand what you're talking about. You don't. You're looking at a mechanism that was built to work, and it's working, and you're like, well, that's a sign of trouble. No, it's not. It's a sign of exactly what they bought Bungie for. and a 20 bomb from MASH. And he says there's only ever been one MASH, and there only ever will be one MASH. And he's here today. How am I fanfictioning when I own both consoles and I use my Xbox more since they're actually making games? See, again, I feel like I'm talking with a bot. Like you're talking like an NPC. So you play more games on your Xbox because they're actually making games? You mean like buying games that were already coming to market, like Redfall, Starfield? Those were already coming to market. Black Ops 6, already coming to market. They didn't make anything. They bought a studio that was already making something. What are you talking about? Hellblade 2, they were already going to make that. That game was coming to market no matter who bought them. You're talking like an NPC. Like, I played less games on my Xbox than I ever have before. Why? Well, because they weren't delivering. What games were you playing? I played more exclusives last year on my PlayStation than Xbox shipped the entire year. What do you mean? They shipped 2 first-party games last year that I would even give a thought to. Hellblade 2 and Indiana Jones. And then Stalker was a... Super Googly, I forgot to thank you for your super chat. Super Googly says, I haven't turned my Series on X in for over a year, but Switch 2 years. Googly's always got to take a swing. He's always got to take a swing at Nintendo, and I owe you guys 10 members. I got to pay up. Actually, I tell you what, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to do a 20 bomb when we get to 350. PlayStation's releasing games at a 7-to-1 rate. You're high. Right. That's why I'm telling you, you guys believe fan fiction. You follow guys on Twitter that make these graphs and these charts, and they're like, look how many games first party from Xbox. It's a fair fight. It's an even race. No, it's not. They'll include things like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, which were PlayStation exclusives when they first launched. But now that they're owned by Xbox, they'll throw it on their dumb Metacritic chart, and they'll convince you that, oh yeah, we've been getting tons of games from Xbox. What are you talking about? No. You're just deluded. It's like, no, you haven't been. You went an entire year with nothing from them to the point that Phil Spencer called it a crisis in an email. It's more liberating to just admit what has happened rather than to like white knuckle cling to some weird version of reality where like you're somehow winning. Winning what? Twitter's full of ponies crying for Xbox games? Crying for Xbox games? And a 50 bomb from Uninformed Gamer throwing down the gauntlet today. Unbelievable. Jumping us all the way to 370. Mash has his tag team partner today. And Mash comes in with the 50 bomb. And he says, I'll tell you what, I'll match it. And we're going to go all the way to 420. Nice. Unreal. Jiminy Christmas. I gotta take a break. I posed this question to Doc Dark today on Twitter. Would you guys like to see it? Sometimes you can formulate a question in the form of a right hook. And I love Doc, but I had to do it to him. Okay? You're saying that people are crying on and a 50 bomb from Purple Haze. She joins the 50 bomb train. Unreal. We've never seen this before on the channel. All the way to 470. I was going to take a breath and start talking. It sounds like a WWE match up in here from the turnbuckle. Purple Haze out of nowhere. And Freddie Jackson with a $7 super chat. There's a reason why I sold my Series X and PS5 for the PS5 Pro. I switched on the Series X 10 times in this lifetime. It's why I'm on the PS5. Thank you, Freddie Jackson. We're one super chat away from confetti You guys are going to have me drinking bourbon before noon at this rate. And AOZ says 6 count and takes us to 476 because he renews his VIP and he also drops a 5-bomb. Thank you, AOZ, for the 5-bomb. And there it is, the 5-bomb from Noberto. What's happening right now? Show this man some love. I told you guys today, days like today are huge. Boy, oh boy, I will gift a member. There it is. 5 more super chats and I'll gift another member. Noberto makes the confetti rain and a 20-bomb comes in from MASH and says, we are getting to 500 right this frickin' minute. 496 the day before we even need it, and a 5-bomb comes in from Trill. Here's my version of a 50-bomb. Thank you, Trill Troll. I think I owe you, I don't even know what I owe you guys at this point. It was 320. If you got to 350, I was going to owe you a 20-bomb. 450 be another 20-bomb. I think I owe you a 50. I owe you guys a 50. Jiminy Christmas. Lona will lose his voice. I actually can do that for a pretty good amount of time. And there it is. The 5-bomb from Siege Master gets us to 501. We are now Agent of Chaos on to stretch. The stretch goal means Madam doesn't just play Kingdom Come Deliverance. I have to play Kingdom Come Deliverance as well. And it's painful. But it's funny. If you guys have not been here on Friday nights for my wife playing through Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, you are missing out on some hilarious content, okay? It's gold. I'm going to drop a 50-bomb as soon as it all stops. I've got to wait. Chat's been completely hijacked. Looks like Madam is day drinking. Yeah. That was the deal. I said, if you guys hit 500 today, we got to break out the bourbon. It's not even noon. And a 5-bomb comes in from Joker Quinn and gets us to 506. We're going to be in here drinking bourbon like we're on the set of Mad Men at noon. Okay, listen. Also, could we get to 400 likes? This is what we do here. We have crazy generous, super nice people here. It gets lively. It gets passionate. But I love when the Xbox guys show up and you want to step in the ring and you want to go toe-to-toe and banter and fight and argue. Just keep the hits above the belt. No name calling, all right? No toxicity, and you're welcome to be here, okay? Grumpy Exile says, let's day drink. All right. 507. Thank you for that member plus renewal. Now, back to what I was saying about, Twitter. Twitter is nothing but ponies, right? Twitter's nothing but ponies crying for PlayStation games or whatever, right? Let me tell you something. Doc Dark said something similar today, all right? And a 5-bomb comes in from Grumpy Exile. The train will not stop, apparently. And we go all the way to 512. How do you get a gifted sub? Be here as often as you can. And Behemoth comes in with the 20-bomb. Unbelievable. 532. It's like a dream. I don't even get to talk. I'm trying to make a point here. I'm here in the ring. My man, Behemoth. Lono, please assure I don't get banned by the mods for liking Xbox. I love this channel. Illuminati. That's fan fiction that haters and grifters claim about me. I think somebody did a 50-bomb while I was gone. I don't know. I think Windows Update was running maybe, and it was super weird. It was like a crash. It was like my PC just straight up crashed. I think somebody did something while I was gone too. What happened while I was gone? Unbelievable. 19 months from Jeraith. 19 months from Jeraith. I'm so sorry. We were so hyped. We were buzzing. We were moving. We were going. Tell everybody to refresh. And a 50-bomb from Steven Ransom. We're still going. You can't shut us down. The fire marshal tried to shut us down because we were too hot. But we're back. I am so sorry that happened. My PC has done that every once in a while. We need a new one. Truth be told, we need a new one. It's old, and I think it's just something that's probably going bad. So, yeah. Did Behemoth do another 20 bomb while I was gone? I'm pretty sure I thanked Behemoth for the 20 bomb. Yeah, I think I thanked him for the 20 bomb. Gotta add 20 on top of his 50. Wait, Behemoth did another one? Oh my gosh. And then Grumpy did, okay, so that's 25. And then another 50 bomb from Steven Ransom. What is happening? That's 76. 583 plus 76. I don't even know what that is. 659. 659. We need another stretch goal. What should I do? I don't know. The stream is alive. How many viewers did we lose? Okay, we're bouncing back already. Okay, 678. Okay, we should be able to bounce back. Whew. Jiminy Christmas. I still never got to pull up the Doc Dart tweet. Do I have it? Are we good? Oh, my cap card. There we go. And Behemoth with another 20 bomb takes us to 679. What is happening? In a 5 spot from Hill, he says, Lono doesn't ban Xbox, folks. Trust me, bro. Just Zubair every now and again. Yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about. Listen. I do not ban Xbox, guys. I don't do that. When I was on Mooch the other night, there was some guy running with that false narrative. He was like, don't praise Xbox because Reforge will get triggered and ban you. It's like, no, I ban people that call names or are toxic and are nasty. People don't have the self-awareness to know that they're unpleasant. And Stone Spired takes it to 680. Thank you so much. I know what Stone Spire's trying to do. He's like, hey, somebody drop the next 20 bomb to get us to 700. All your streams going forward should be waiting rooms. Right, Minch Tree? Yeah, 187 is here with a gold badge. 187 will tell you. Tell them. I don't ban Xbox fans. I don't ban people that debate with me. 700 stretch goal. Halfway through your bourbon lunch, you switched to tequila. Listen, that's ridiculous. You guys are trying to kill me. And a VIP from It's Xerox. And Steven Ransom is on fire today. And he does another 20 bomb, which is an Agent of Chaos with the VIP renewal. And that gets us to 701. Another stretch goal. We're out of incentives. I don't have any. I'm listening, and this is why I'm still a VIP. After all this time, thank you, It's Xerox. 700 to play Xbox. I was primary Xbox fan and I jumped to PC. There are so many people here that are long-standing Xbox fans. They are. I just think people don't have the self-awareness. They come in here like a bull in a china shop and they want to insult me or call me a pony or call my integrity into question. And then when they get banned, they're like, well, that guy just bans Xbox fans. And it's like, no. I've never banned somebody for praising Xbox. It's made up. 700, you have to play Avowed. Well, we already hit it. 800, and I'll give you an Avowed stream the week it comes out loan for the members. 187 says, you was more right than our podcast people. Yo, put that on a billboard, 187. He says, Lono was more right than our podcast people. You damn right I was. And Rich Rod comes in with the VIP. Let's get to 1,000 for a 24-hour stream. And that is 702 on the renewal. Rich Rod wants 1,000 members for the week. Jiminy Christmas. Avowed. All right, that's the deal. I have to play Kingdom Come Deliverance on Friday night with Madam. Maybe I'll try and find a costume to wear. All right, for Friday night. And then if we hit 800, I'll do an Avowed on a Friday night. I don't even know, 900 and 1,000. I'm not going to do a 24-hour stream. I can't do that. Lone Wolf's like, that's all you had to say, bro. And he drops a 20 bomb. He's like, I'm going to get Lono to play Avowed on the Xbox. And Mr. Grimm bumps the line as well to 723. Thank you so much. Holy mackerel. I'm going to periodically reset the chat. I'm wondering if that's what caused it. You know? 800 for Avowed at 30 FPS. You can't go to PC. Oh, no. That's the deal. I got to play it on my Xbox. I'm not allowed to play it on PC. Stone Spire is going to bump the line to 724. I bet he does another one to bump it to 725. I owe you guys a 50 bomb. I do. I need to do it. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'll do the 50 bomb when we go to the co-stream of the Direct. That'll get us really, really started big. And there it is. Stone Spire gets us to 725. I'm going to owe you guys more than a 50 bomb at this point. Dress up like a mage or a knight for Avowed or Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't know if I have a knight costume. 800 for Avowed on the Series S. I don't have a Series S. You know? Okay, listen. I got to make this point. Okay. A 2-spot from Illuminati, 1K, and you have to play 30 FPS games all night. Lone Wolf says, nah, I think you should be allowed to play it on PC. I don't want you to suffer that much. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because you guys are probably going to hit it at 725. The day is young. The day is very, very young. We're not even into the co-stream yet. Thanks for the gift. Yo, Yixels, good to see you. You have to say positive things about Avowed while playing. Yeah, somebody said if I get to 1,000, I have to play with winter gloves on. Change your PC graphic settings to that of a Series S. That's the member goal. You guys are mean. Joel says, we've disagreed at times, and you've never banned me. I play mainly on Xbox, but I understand your point. If Xbox is actually dying, it's due to the ones running the Xbox division. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. 2-spot from Zinky says, will the Xbox games today also be on PC? All Xbox games land on PC day and date. That's been going on since like 2015, 2016, 2017. I don't know. In one of those years, they made that switch. He's got a 2080 Ti. That's basically a Series S. Good to see you, Lono. Thank you, Yixels. All right, listen. Oh, the Assassin's Creed Shadow stuff dropped. We need to check it out. Listen. To the person who said all they see are Sony ponies crying for Xbox games on Twitter, I had to do this to my boy Doc Dark today. I had to get him. He says, I wake up and what do I see? Ponies begging. Y'all really don't get it. Buy and play PlayStation games. They need your help. You should be on Helldivers right now, right? So he says ponies begging, all right? Because these guys are celebrating. I'm looking forward to see what games to play on my PS5 Pro, okay? This guy's celebrating the Direct and saying, I can't wait to play his games on my Pro. And Doc's like, oh, all I see are ponies begging. And this is the question that I asked Doc. I was like, Doc, let me ask you something. If you tell me you're going to give me a bunch of Christmas presents, and I say that I'm looking forward to them, is that begging? Like, that's all. I'm sorry to do it to you, Doc. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to do it to you, Doc. But it's like, ain't nobody begging. Xbox said, we're going to give you all of our games. And the PlayStation guys are like, sweet, thanks. Like, that's not begging. If you tell me that you're going to give me a bunch of Christmas presents and I'm like, yo, I can't wait. And you're like, what are you begging for? Why are you begging me for Christmas presents? I'm not begging you. You said you were going to give it to me. My Doc, you're my boy. Doc, you're my boy. But that is not... Oh, no, wait. He responded. He said, so they free now, Lamau. Lono, don't be mad at me. PlayStation would rather you play their games than be hyped for an Xbox Direct. That's a fact. No. All right, I'm just testing something here with the existing stream. Oh, hi. Yeah, okay, so here's what we're doing. Okay, cool. I had to completely change rigs. All right? So I'm going to spam a link in chat, and I'm going to redirect you guys to the new stream, okay? We got to end this one. So that's where we're headed. Cam's a bit jittery. What? Oh, we're dropping frames. Oh, I'm on the wrong internet. Audio's terrible, but he's back. Okay, we're going to try this one more time before we go to the new stream. I don't want the new stream to have this crap on it. Bitrate should be better. I'm plugged into AT&T. Audio should be better because I switched the Focusrite over. And it should be synced up with my voice. Okay, cool. Holy freaking Jiminy Christmas. What a nightmare on one of the biggest days we've ever freaking had. Okay, cool. I'm going to end the stream and send you guys over with redirect, the last bastion of you, and then we need to go live over there. And then I need to get their direct pulled up, and then I need to make sure it's going to work. Yeah. We're going to be rough. Wait, hang on. Okay. We're good. I'll see you guys over there in just a second. Okay. It was the PC. The PC keeps crashing.